Today is the 18th of August 2014. This means we are just 1 month away from the Scottish independence referendum. Now, I will, of course, later in the week and in the run up to this referendum, put my view across on why I wish to push for independence and why I think voting yes is the correct way and the right way to go, and discuss some of the arguments and some of the information, what is going on regarding this referendum. But what uh, is pointless is me doing all that and then not discussing one of the most important issues of this referendum, and that is the vote itself and how to vote, who is eligible to vote, and a little bit about information, hopefully, that people, whatever way you're going to vote, I hope will find useful on this video. So, talking about really who is voting in this Scottish uh, independence referendum. Can you vote? Well, you can vote in the referendum if you are registered to vote in Scotland, are 16 years old or over on Thursday, the 18th of September 2014, and are a British or Irish citizen living in Scotland, a European Union citizen living in Scotland, or a qualifying Commonwealth citizen living in Scotland. In other words, you are eligible to register to vote in this country due to your legal status. You have to be registered to vote by Tuesday, the 2nd of September, to be able to vote in this referendum. If you're not registered to vote, obviously you will be unable to do so. Most people register by using the form they receive in the post from their local electoral registration office each year. That is the one you get the voter details and you fill up who lives at that particular address. And obviously it is a criminal act to falsify these details because this is official and legal document. If you haven't completed one of those forms, you may not be on the electoral register. If so, you will need to complete a voter registration form and send it to your local electoral registration office to arrive by midnight on Tuesday, the 2nd of September. You can get one of these voter registration forms and details of your local electoral registration office, in other words, who you need to send it back to at www.aboutmyvote.co.uk. That's aboutmyvote.co.uk. Now, if you are registered to vote, if you are have completed those forms when you received it through the post, or go online and get one of these forms, you certainly will have recently received one of these. You see it there. It is Scottish Independence Referendum official poll card. You may have received one of these through the post in recently, or will receive one in the next couple of days. If you receive one of these, then you are registered to vote. There should be no problem. All you need to do is look at the evidence, decide for yourself on which way you wish to vote in this referendum, and then just wait simply until the day of the referendum. Now, I would suggest at this point that you actually retain the Scottish Independence Referendum official poll card. I suggest retaining it because it contains a lot of information, and some of it I will talk about now. that you will require to know on the date of the referendum, and it actually on the not only gives you some details, but on the reverse of it. And I will read out some of this that information as well on how you go about voting as I said, on this referendum. Now, on this poll card, as you'll see, it gives you details regarding the referendum there. It gives you the polling day. The polling day is simply the day on which the votes will be cast. For this, the Scottish independence referendum, the votes will be cast on a single day, just one day you have for your opportunity to vote in this referendum. That day is Thursday, the 18th of September 2014. The polling hours, that is the hours that the polling stations are open. It is from 7 a.m., that's 7 in the morning, till 10 p.m., 10 o'clock at night. You will be unable to vote out with those hours. So if you turn up at your local polling station at say 6:45, you'll be unable to vote. If you turn up at your polling station at 10 past 10 p.m., you will be unable to vote. You'll have missed your opportunity at that point to vote. And I believe they will be being very strict, as they are normally in elections, regarding these hours. So that is a total of 15 hours of opportunity in order for people to vote. That's 15 hours for which the polling stations will be open, and for those 15 hours, the polling stations will be open in those in that time in its entirety. They will not be shut, say at 12 to 12:30 for lunch break, or from 5 to 6 for their tea, or from about 3 o'clock to 3 for a tea break. No, the polling stations will be open throughout those 15 hours. It also, as you saw there, gives you your polling place. Your polling place will be, and it gives you where your polling place is, whether it's a primary school, a community centre, a library, which is normally where those the polling stations are. Those types of places are normally the polling stations, which also means, of course, some of the children will be off at school on that day. But it is that place and that place only that you are actually able to attend in order to cast your vote. If you are attending in person to a polling station on Thursday, 18th September, you must attend the place that it says your polling place is on your official poll card. Doesn't matter whether there's 2, 5, 10, 15, however many polling stations in your area or your city. Only the place where it says on this poll card, the local primary school, is the place that you will be able to cast your vote when you attend. That is the only place that you can cast your vote in. There is no picking, mixing, there's no choosing. I don't want to go down to that school. I'd rather go to the community centre or the library. No, unfortunately, that is you are only that is the if there is a particular place and there is given on your poll card, that is the only place that you can attend in order to cast your vote. You will be not allowed to cast your vote at any other polling station. But as I said, retain this card with information because it gives you the where your polling station is, the address of it, obviously to help people who may not quite know the local area or exactly where it is. And it does say this card is for information only. You can vote without it, but it will save time if you take it to the polling station and show it to the staff there. It says check in heavy print. Check if your polling station has changed. I'm sure locally your neighbours, and hopefully you will be made aware if anything happens, like lots of accidents or something happens, like, I don't know, fire, accident, fire, or damage to the polling station. Uh, I don't know, floods if you live near a river or something. I'm sure you'll be made aware locally. Certainly ask your neighbours and that, and I'm sure a lot of people, somebody will know if your polling place has changed, but it should not change in regards to. It will not change now from now until the day of the referendum. They won't suddenly change their mind and think, oh, it's there. It'll only be in exceptional circumstances now that the polling station will be changing. Hopefully, it should not happen. There are very rare occasions where it happens, though. So if it does happen, hopefully somebody will be uh, at least for a good period of time outside where it was supposed to be, and is able to direct people to where your polling station will now be placed. But I said, apart from exceptional circumstances like that, the polling station given on your poll card is the only place where you will be able to attend in order to cast your votes. But how do you cast your votes? Well, as said on the reverse of your poll card, it has a lot of information and it actually takes you through the process of voting. Now, I know some people may say it's simple, it's very easy, not many people can mess it up. So some people like myself, you may be fully able to understand how to do it, but there's some elderly infirm. But I'm going to go through the process anyway. So take it step by step and read out what exactly it says on the poll card. It says it far more clearly than I could put. Uh, so, how to vote at the polling station. As I said, the one given on your poll card, unless under exceptional circumstances. Tell the clerk your name and address as shown on front of the card, as it says on the other side. You can also take that card with you to show the clerks there as well your details. You won't need any photo ID. I don't think you will need any driving license, passport, anything like that. You just simply turn up, show them this card or give them your details. Then, if the clerk is checks your name, checks your address, and if the details are correct, you will be then given a ballot paper. Now, a ballot paper is simply the slip of paper, similar like the ballot, like the poll card. It's just one slip of paper, and that is your voting form, basically. It's very simple in this independence referendum. It's very, very, very simple. It is a single question referendum. So all you need to do is answer one question. The question is, should Scotland be an independent country? There will be, along with that question, yes and no printed on that ballot paper. Next to yes and next to no, there will be a box. A box beside yes and a box beside no. So two boxes, two options. Go to a polling booth. Mark a cross, an X, on the ballot paper in the box next to your choice of answer to the referendum question. So, you read the question. However you have decided whether you wish to vote yes for independence or vote no for against independence, you put your X or your cross inside the box beside your answer. So there will be, like I said, a box beside yes. If you wish to vote yes, put your X inside that box next to yes. If you wish to vote no, put your X or cross inside the box immediately next to no. Make no other mark on the ballot paper or your vote may not be counted. They call that a spoiled ballot. In other words, it's one that's for the reason for that is because they legally they do not they cannot have anything that say, well, we're not really sure how this person has voted, whether it was yes or no, or for a particular candidate if it's a general election. So we'll just look at it and we'll decide offhand. No, it has to be clear that the person has voted in a particular way. That is why You hear sometimes things about spoiled ballots or spoiled ballot papers. They wish to make sure that they count the ballots that are clear, that somebody has clearly chosen that. Obviously sometimes change their mind or that, but it's simple. Put a cross on X in the box next to your preferred answer. Make no other mark on the ballot paper. I said your vote may not be counted. Do not let anyone see how you have voted. Now you're not allowed to do this inside a polling station. You're not allowed to try because you're not allowed to try to influence anybody in any particular way. Again, that is to try and ensure that people are free. It's a democracy, and obviously you cannot be seen to try and influence people in a particular direction. It's like I said, it's trying to think of a word more than unconstitutional, but certainly illegal. To try and, so some people, like I said, they'll be elderly, they'll be infirm, people there perhaps voting themselves, and you would not want bullied into trying into voting one way where it's not your wish to vote that particular way. That is part of the reason. So do not let anyone see how you voted. Show the staff the number on the back of your ballot paper before you put it in the ballot box, and you normally um, fold up. Will have to fold up your ballot paper before putting it in, so it can fit in the slot. That's normally what happens. I'm sure you'll have to probably fold it over 2 or 3 times, uh, however many, however I don't know, however wide or long the slit in the ballot box is. You put it in the ballot box, and if you're not sure where exactly to put it, ask a member of staff. But there should be a big like black box, normally sealed, locks on it. Sometimes, normally, that is the box you put in. If you're not entirely sure which box or where to put it, ask the member of staff there, and they certainly legally should help you. Say, oh yes, this is the ballot box. Put your vote inside this box, and there is when it comes to time to counting the votes, it will be counted. Um, if by mistake you spoil your ballot paper, obviously be pens and that there. I'm sure in order to be provided, so you can not need to worry about bringing anything to vote. Obviously, if pens run out and pens start not working, and you're trying to make X and it's not working, it's kind of spoiled. In your opinion, you can return it to the presiding officer and ask for another one. And if you need any other help, just ask the staff. Like I said, you're quite unsure, right? Where do I? Right, I've filled my ballot paper in. I've made my vote. Where do I exactly do I put it? Ask the member staff, and they have to help you. And will help you, I'm sure. Place it in the correct ballot box. It should be a big, normally it's like a big black box. Regular voters will know what I'm talking about. Normally a big black vote box with a slit on the top, so normally sealed with tape, with some official tape or locks or padlocks, and then you put it in the slit at the top, in amongst all the other voters. I'm sure you may even see other voters placing their uh, ballot papers in the ballot box, so you'll see exactly where to go. But I said, if you're not sure, ask a member of staff, and they will help you. Um, you can prefer not to go post station. I'm not going to get into this, but obviously, people with disabilities can't get out of the house. You can vote in this referendum by post or by proxy, but proxy it means somebody else voting on your behalf. If you do this, uh, if you're voting by post, you cannot then go to a polling station and cast another vote. Obviously, in an election and a referendum, you get a single vote. So that's one vote. You can't vote by post and then decide, oh, I'll go down the polling station anyway just to make sure my vote is cast. It's by post only or by attending the polling station only. You only get one vote, one opportunity to cast your vote. Even if, like I said, I'm not entirely sure. I said go aboutmyvote.co.uk and you may or your local electoral registration office, um, or contact them regarding how you set up postal votes, etc. But certainly even if you cast your vote by post and you send it off, say like in this, you voted no, you post it off, but then you think, well, actually, I want to vote yes. It's too late. You can't then attend a polling station and vote yes if you have changed your mind on that. By the time you vote that, like anybody at a polling station, you can't attend the polling station in the morning, vote no, or vote yes, and then suddenly decide in the afternoon, well, actually, I want to change my vote. Unfortunately, you've already cast your vote, and you cannot actually go back, I believe, and change the way you wish to vote. Um, if you obviously if you wish to change the way you vote, but either by said either attending the polling station yourself or by post or by proxy, your completed application must be received by the electoral registration officer before 5 p.m. on Wednesday, the 3rd of September 2014. So, like I said, if ill health occurs to you and you say, I want to vote by post or I want to vote by proxy, you have to complete your application uh, and have it received by the electoral registration officer by before 5 p.m. on Wednesday, the 3rd of September 2014. Obviously, other arrangements are being made by for those in the armed forces and emergency staff, etc. Uh, if you're in say armed forces in the service or whatever, other arrangements obviously are being made by them. And I do know that certainly some employers are planning on letting their staff away for uh, a considered time period uh, in order to vote. I know obviously not everybody works really near where they live. Obviously some may have a long commute in order to get to work and to get back from work. Uh, but so you may not be able to actually return to your home area and attend the polling station um, at which you must attend to cast your vote during your working hours. But hopefully, as I said, to check with your employer um, in regards to any situation like that. If you are, depending on your working hours, depending on your shift, check with your own employer if they are letting anybody away, or like I said, depends on your shift. But there is a full 15 hours in order for you to have the opportunity to vote. Again, that is 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. is the hours that the polling stations will be open on Thursday, 18th of September 2014. So hopefully at least some of that information will be helpful. You should contact your local electoral registration office. You can do it through your state council, I'm sure. Google online, search online um regarding, like I said, changing a vote to being postal vote, or by proxy, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully that will give some at least some information that may be helpful to people in uh, the ways and the means that you can vote in the Scottish independence referendum. And although it said it's Scottish people that are voting, well, people living in Scotland, more accurately, that are voting on this election. If you are Scottish, however you live outside of the country, you do not have a residence in Scotland, you will be unable to vote. Names like the actor Brian Cox, and anybody who may have been born uh, in Scotland but perhaps lives in places like Canada, New Zealand, Australia, the United States of America, or even England or Wales, they cannot vote in the Scottish independence referendum. I know some people say that it's good. Some people say that they should have a vote. Some people say that they shouldn't have a vote because they don't live in the country. But that is the way it is. It must be you must be living in Scotland and legally able to register to vote to be able to vote in this Scottish independence referendum. Like I said, I do hope that at least some of that information is helpful. Hopefully, people will have the opportunity to take part in this due process of voting, regardless however you vote in the Scottish independence referendum. I also will be taking part in this process on Thursday, the 18th of September 2014.